Hi, this is Jason with 5 Letter Comics Collectibles coming at you with another toy review. This time we're taking a look at the Star Wars Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan Kenobi Acklay battle figure. And this is from the Star Wars Saga toy collection from 2003. And this is number 1 in the 2003 series. So the first thing we're going to do is take a closer look at the figure. Alright, so taking a look at the figure. So this is the Obi-Wan Kenobi Acklay battle figure. So this is obviously from the, towards the end of the film when they're trying to be executed. And so as far as the look of the figure, I'm not a big fan of Obi-Wan Kenobi with the long hair. It's just the way I was when he's got that mullet. I didn't like it. And I don't think it translates very well to the figure. As you see when I kind of zoom in, I mean, he almost looks like a Jesus type molded figure. I mean, if you darken the hair, I mean, he's almost looks exactly like what most people think to be Jesus. But moving on with that, so as far as the mold of the figure, so this is one of those Saga collection figures where they have like the more action pose, and you kind of see he's kind of in this action pose, and that's just really the only really good way to get him. He holds the spear in his right hand, and then in his left hand you kind of have to wedge it down just to hold the spear so it even stays like this. It doesn't stay in there very well. You even move it at all and it will just fall right out of his hand. There's no way to grip it correctly, which is kind of unfortunate. Nice things that come with this figure, he obviously comes with little like handcuffs, which you can't actually handcuff both his hands together because of the way the figure's molded. So with this figure, he's got a little button that's actually one of his pouches. It's just kind of, it sticks out, and that actually makes his arm kind of flip. So you can kind of do a stabbing motion. The problem is, the way his hand's done, no matter what you do, you can't get it to do that motion when he's holding it like any person would actually hold a spear, which is just, it's kind of silly. You can kind of see it just kind of flopping around there. Now, the saving grace to this figure is he does come with a really, really nice lightsaber. It's a metal, it's got metal on the hilt, which is fantastic. It does separate, which is pretty cool, but this is one of those things with that tiny peg that it could be broken off. So you have to be really careful. And you can put it in this hand, and you can use that, like I said, that feature. It's kind of weak, but I mean, he can kind of do a little bit of a lightsaber fighting motion. He does look stupid the way he's standing, but in this hand he also has a magnet in his hand, and because this lightsaber is metal, you can almost do like a force kind of grab to it. So it's kind of a cool feature, and some of the other figures obviously have this. They have that force features. So that this, in all honesty, is probably the saving grace to the figure is the lightsaber, and he can kind of hold it. It just looks silly the way that the figure's molded, and a lot of these figures in this series are like that, where they mold it to kind of give it that action pose, but it doesn't really do anything else. Now, he also comes with his little thing that he was chained to. Obviously, it's a lot smaller than it was in the movie. It does have a little clip that, like, if you have the chain from Padme, you can chain her to it, and it's got, it's molded to break, so it can be knocked over and break in half, and it is hollow. And finally, here we have Obi-Wan Kenobi next to Jango Fett, just for a size comparison. So, they're molded and sized correctly as far as what they probably would be in the in the movie. It's just with the Obi-Wan, he's got more of a one type pose. You really can't do anything else with it the way the figure's molded. With Jango, he's kind of molded a little bit like that, but you can kind of do more with him than Obi-Wan. You can kind of see he just looks stupid. He almost looks like he's he's holding himself in like an obscene gesture with his hand like this, and it's very, very silly the way that this figure's molded. So definitely not one of my favorite figures by any means. I mean, I think a lot of people have this guy because it's obviously Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know, a lot of people are completionists when it comes to series and sets, but I mean, this is one of those ones where I'd personally definitely skip it. But once again, this has been Jason with Filer Comics Collectibles. Any questions or comments, leave in the comment section below. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and I'll see you guys next time.